Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the newest episode of the Bird Brothers podcast. I'm always your host, Falcon, and I will be trying on some new shoes after this. And today I'm joined by the one, the only Midnight Condor. Condor, how are you doing today?
Hello, I am doing fine. Happy 2021 to everybody.
2021!
2021, that's right. We're getting, this is our first recording of the new year. Very excited.
And don't worry, we yelled Jumanji at midnight, so if we were the winners, the bad luck is over.
Yeah, the bad luck is definitely over. As you can tell, we're still recording here, so I guess everything's good.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. And, I feel like the best way to start the new year is by starting it by reviewing a series that we already reviewed, but season 2.
Season 2 just finished.
We just did Fire Force season 2 for this one. Oh!
And this one's interesting because it's the first time we've done one where we've just talked about season 2. We've had a few where we've bundled season 1 and 2 together.
March comes in like a lion, and what was the other one?
Bokuben.
Oh, Bokuben. Yeah, those two.
Like so literally the last one we did. Oh, but it's cool.
That was 2 weeks ago. Shut.
Yeah, we did take that break. Hopefully you all were able to somewhat enjoy the holidays during the craziness that was 2020. Stay safe, hopefully. Hopefully you all are good.
2020 is over, and we must ascend ourselves to 2021.
We must ascend, or else our lives are ruined.
Not descend.
I said ascend.
You totally said descend. Play it back now. Anyway, okay. So just a little warning going ahead, since this is season 2 of Fire Force, there will be mostly spoilers because we really can't just talk about like the same thing over and over. Be like, hey, or it'll just be like the first episode.
Yeah, it would just be the first episode all over again. This
right now, unless you have watched Fire Force season 2 or you have listened to our podcast and do not care about watching Fire Force season 2, feel free to just click away. This podcast episode is not for you. But if you do eventually watch season 2, feel free to come back and hear our opinions on it. I feel like this is going to be a pretty well-informed episode. Do you say so, Mr. Falcon?
I do think so, yes. I think it'll be good. And while we're doing that, I actually thought of something that would be fun. So I'm going to pull our first episode up on my phone because I want to see how we rated at the end, how our opinions have changed.
Okay.
So, yeah. That should be fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. So real quick, while he's doing that, let me just give everybody a brief description of Fire Force again, just in case you forget. So basically, we're in this world where it's like post-apocalyptic world, and basically the major cause of death is people being turned into infernos, which are like these fire creatures, and they deploy these special Fire Force forces with like special pyrokinetic powers to like try to prevent the fires from spreading and the people from turning into infernos, and by putting them into peace. But as we left off last season, we find out that actually these bad guys called the White Clad are actually the ones turning people into infernos and stuff. And that is pretty bad, unfortunately, as you go. So we follow our main character Shinra, who his brother and mother got killed, but you actually find out by the end of it that his brother's actually working for the enemy, and his mom has actually got turned into a horned inferno, which are like the really strong ones. I think we mentioned that in our spoilers for the end of season 1.
We did in the spoiler section,
yes. So basically we just follow the adventures of Shinra and his crew as we continue to delve forward into trying to beat the bad guys and saving the world. How do we rate Fire Force season 1, Falcon?
So you gave Fire Force season 1 a 7.5, and I gave it a 7. So once we talk about it and we give our ratings for season 2 at the end, we can see, did our minds really change much, or do we think it was about the same? Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. So let's get right into it.
Yeah.
So I guess we should talk about some of the new characters that were introduced in season 2.
Let's see. Who should we start off with?
Well, we should start with the ladies first, obviously. So let's talk about Inca.
All right, our girl Inca.
So basically, Inca was like the first major arc of season 2. Her arc, basically, as the world around everyone is going on, the White Cloud want to find these things called the pillars, which Shinra and his brother are, as well as this girl named Haumea who uses like electricity, and this other person who is we don't know much about. I think her name was Amaterasu. Basically, what they're saying is that the first pillar is like inside the big thing called Amaterasu, which like functions and like supplies the whole world with like electricity and power. So that's like still a big mystery. They didn't really get into it that much. But basically, Inca is the fifth pillar who just awakens in the middle of season 2. And basically she has like this cool little power where she can like detect where fires are coming. She's pretty cool, but her character is pretty dark. She always just likes to stay in like the dangerous zones and stuff. Always like just be in the middle of danger. She doesn't want a peaceful life. She wants a dangerous life. She has pink hair. She's pretty cute. I like.
Yeah, she's got crazy eyes as well.
She does have the crazy eyes.
Yeah, she loves the thrill of being in danger. She's one of those people who's just like a giant thrill seeker. So jumping into fires and all that, like it's fun for her. Her power was actually really cool. I really liked how she was able to not only see where the fires were going to go, but later on when she's kind of like awakened, how she just has to like trace a line to like ignite the fire.
Yeah, that's like super cool. Like really a conductor, I guess. Like in the second opening where she's just
they just see her going like this, and it's like, all right, she looks so happy too. She's like, all right,
she's actually chilling.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So due to story, she ends up going with the bad guys because they're more thrillful, they're more dangerous and stuff. So she becomes a part of the White Clad, and she's our evil little girl. And then she kind of just doesn't like get any more of that much plot points until like one arc later. That's it.
Yeah, she really doesn't do much even in the second arc. I feel like the second arc was more to set up her protector, whose name I keep forgetting. Ritsu, that's right.
Which, by the way, cool. Everybody, I have a fun fact about Ritsu.
Ooh.
Well, actually, it's more about her voice actress. In the interview for the Japanese sub voice, Rumi Okubo admitted she was a reader of the manga before being cast as Ritsu for the second season of the anime, also expressing her happiness of getting a role in the series. So that's a promoted fanboy moment right there.
That's kind of like the Harry Potter situation, but that's fun.
Yes, it's pretty cool. We're not going to talk about Ritsu that much because she didn't do it.
She wasn't really there. Like, really, the only thing about her was that she can like reanimate dead corpses and turn them into like infernals and kind of control them.
She has green hair.
Yeah, but otherwise, like that's pretty much what she really did.
She's the protector of the fifth pillar, basically. That's all. That's her role.
All right, so first girl is down.
I mean,
really, that's the only girl I think we were talking about.
We forgot to mention. About how Inca killed her friends, Falcon. Come on.
She did kill her friends, yeah.
So basically, before she got turned into the White Clad, she used to like her and two other like friends, like these just random like thug guys would just go around and basically, since Inca had the power to protect fires, she would go right after the fire was gonna go and be like, hey, give me your money and give me all your valuables and I'll save you. So basically they would do that, and her two friends were like, yeah, you're so smart, Inca, you know where everything's gonna happen and stuff, blah 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 blah. And then when Karen, a character we'll talk about later, came, he literally killed one of her friends. The other one literally freaked out. I think the other guy was Panda. What a weird name.
Yeah, it was like Panda and something else is what their names were.
I don't remember the other guy because he literally died right away. But then later, when Inca's going with the White Clad, Panda comes. I think he has a gun. Right? Did he have a gun? He had a gun.
He has a gun. He was trying to save her from the White Clad.
You better let Inca go right now, or I'm gonna shoot. And then
then she just kills the dude.
And then she just kills him, and I'm just like, oh. And that was like probably one of the worst deaths I've seen in the beginning of this show.
Yeah, this season I feel like it was definitely more violent in some regards in the first season.
Obviously, when a series gets like more into the show, it gets more violent and stuff.
There were a few times I was like, did that really just happen? Okay, like I don't know why I'm surprised, but it was like, whoa, like all right. But I kind of like the fact that even the Fire Force knows all about her. I forgot what they called her, like the
fire thief.
Yeah, this like the schoolgirl fire thief or something like that, and she would wait till the fire just started, and then she could see where the next flames would go. So she would just grab possessions from people, lead them out of their house. I'm like, okay, bye, and then leave. And they knew who she was, but they could never like catch her or stop her because by the time they'd get to the fire, she'd already be gone. But they knew about her just from people talking about her. So that was kind of cool, and how she knew they knew about her. So that's kind of why she went with the white clad. Is if you all take me, I'm either going to get arrested or be protected forever. Where's the fun in that? So it was kind of like she went with the white clad because it seemed more fun.
But she did tell Shinra at the end that if she ever becomes more interesting, that she'll probably be more interested in him.
Yeah.
You mentioned that, so I think might be something going on there later. But you
Yeah,
don't
even
know
like
that.
when we see her the second time, she's like, "Let's watch the fire together," and he's just like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, we need to kill that thing." "No, it's great." And it's like, "No, like, no, I'm not doing." No, I did like the second time she was there. She's like, "This is all amazing," and like everybody's about to die and everything's blowing up, and it's like, all right, Inca, you just be you.
Yeah, Anko is a pretty great character. Wish we saw more of her. Hopefully, if they do make a season 3 or later in the manga, they do show her more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next character. Let's move on. Moving on. Who should we talk about next, buddy?
In
we talk
order
about Ogren.
Let's talk about Sharon next. We've already talked about him.
Oh yeah, I guess
get the two
Karen.
white clad people we're talking about out of the way.
So Karen is another white clad member. He's actually a protector of the second pillar, which is Haumea, another character who has some
Crazy
prevalence,
lady.
but she's a little crazy. She basically uses like electricity fire. It's weird. Literally, Arthur's are like actual counter. It's great.
Yeah, because he can disrupt her electrical signals. Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
with
always
his
fun.
plasma
She's
sword.
like, "Damn, it's the sword guy." And it's just,
But basically, there was a art in the beginning. I forget. Oh yeah, it was during the Inca arc. But basically, Shinra goes to fight him, and Shinra realizes his attacks can't do anything to him, and he's like, wow, he's like a really good like fighter, and he's like super strong, and he has like his people. And then you realize his power is basically the more he gets damaged, the more fire he can put out. So he's basically like a Wobbuffet.
Yeah, I mean, he is essentially the Pokemon move by it. He just sits there and takes hits and then just releases it back. So yeah, that was cool, especially how Shinra was like, I have like literally 1 second to actually hit him and do damage, which is kind of cool seeing him do that. But yeah, he's not very. I think my favorite thing about Sharon is how he just asks questions just like all the time. Like they're in the middle of the fight. He's just, "Where are you going? Do you know where this person is? How will I know?" And just like keeps going. Like I loved it. He was great. Especially like because Haumea, like we've talked about, is his pillar he guards. And she has like the electrical fire, but she can also be communications and she can deal with electricity. So she can like talk to people. So like he'll just be like asking Haumea questions while she's trying to run away or something. But I liked it. I loved him a lot. And they're also trying to get Shinra still onto their side. So he's like trying to be like, "Come on, Shinra, come with us. We'll be buddies. I can protect you. It's great. We'll just do this thing in the world." But I liked him a lot. He was just fun.
Yeah, he was a really fun character.
I mean, he wouldn't be the best character or like anyone's favorite character, but he was just a lot of fun whenever he showed up.
It was a fun to watch, yeah. Especially like at the end of season 1 when he was just like bothering the Kameya, especially because it showed the past with Sho and how his mom, their mom, got turned into an infernal. He was there, and it showed Haumea as like a child, and Sharon was like, "I need to know. Tell me right now. Please tell me right now." And Haumea's like, "Shut up."
Yeah.
It's great. He's a very fun character. His power is really strong. Honestly, I really like the bit where his minions like beat him up so he get powerful.
Yeah,
I really
like,
that.
"I'm not gonna fight you. I know what you to do now." And he's just like, "Guys," you just see them all like punch him. He's like, "Oh!" It's like, yeah. I did like.
I like how every time he'd attack, he'd like say what he's doing. He'd be like, "Slap" or "punch" or "kick."
Yeah, it's just it's great. I do like too. You find out that he's been with Haumea since Haumea was just like a little child.
Yep.
So he was reading like how to deal with the problem kid books and stuff like that, trying to like figure out how to like essentially like raise her. But since she's the pillar, she essentially has like control over him, and there's nothing he can really do about it. So it doesn't matter because she wants to do whatever. Like he just has to follow and make sure she doesn't die doing it. I thought that was a lot of fun. I can read. I can tell what you're thinking. Blah 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 blah. Oh, really? It's like, yeah. It's just like, all right. I thought that was fun. It's like he understands, like he wants to try to make her this like responsible and good person kind of ish, but then it's like, nope, we're doing this and you have to follow me around. He was like, all right, well, I tried. But yeah, I liked him a lot. Yeah, his whole power is just he could just reflect stuff back. I think that was his nickname, was he was called like the counterman or the reflect. So it looks like in the sub it's Counterman. In English, they called him the Reflector Man because he would just reflect it back at you.
Counterman sounds more cool.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Anything else we can really say about him besides he has cool powers and was fun to listen to?
I like the part where they work together to beat like the giant thing in that one arc during the.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like that.
That
a
was
lot.
cool because it's just like you
they
have
both
him,
were like, we can't do this by ourselves. Like,
we
let's
have
team
to
up
work
right
together.
now.
And it was just I really like it sometimes when like the enemies and the good guys team up to fight
Mhm.
the greater good, even if it's just like temporary. It's not like permanent. And I like that. It was really cool.
Well, I think it makes sense with him and Shinra because he doesn't hate Shinra. He likes Shinra. He wants Shinra to be their buddy and join the White Clad. So it's just like, hey, buddy, I need your help for this one. You need my
Technically,
help
he's
for
just
this
doing
one.
his job too by protecting a pillar, and Shinra is a pillar. So
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, like, he doesn't like hate Shinra at all. He's like, hey, Shinra, how's it going? Like, you gonna get in my way? I'm gonna have to fight you this time, or are we gonna be cool for once? Like,
we're gonna be best
nope,
buddies.
I'm gonna make you fight me. Well, all right. Like,
if you say
right.
so.
Yeah. But yeah, he was cool. That's pretty much it. I guess we could talk about Ogun next.
Ogren. All right.
Ogun.
So Ogren is a character who only appeared for one arc in season 2, but he was I feel like he really stood out for what he did. Not like
He
super
did.
stood out, but he was like really cool. So
Mhm.
basically, Ogren is a character from Company 4. He actually went to school with Shinra. You actually find that out in like the beginning. I think it's like the second episode when he goes to visit Company 4. And basically, he's like this black skinned young man who has like in the opening they show him on like a board, so I'm like, oh cool, he has like a board, you must like do
He's got
something
like a hoverboard.
fire.
We see it with him every once in a while, but very rarely.
I actually don't really understand his power. Let me look it up real quick.
It's ink, so he can make like the tattoos on his body and like the patterns of the tattoos. I think inspires what he does. Let me see. Let me look it up. Oh yeah, here it is. He's a third generation pyrokinetic, giving him the power to create and utilize his own flames. He uses his ability to create rod-like weapons out of flames, which he can launch at his opponents from a distance, and is capable of creating several at once. He also possesses a technique known as Flamey Ink, in which he tattoos flames onto his body to temporarily increase his strength to Leonard Burns level, allowing him to shatter the ground and briefly overpower demon infernals.
Yeah, so basically he could do that. He's pretty.
Yeah,
It's
so he can
pretty cool.
essentially
I
make like
really
staffs and
liked his
stuff.
power. It
Otherwise,
was really cool to see.
especially that fight where he just has like 20 swords he forms like all around him and just like shoots them down.
I really like the part where he was like beating up the demon infernal, and like I really feel like he should have killed him.
Oh yeah, Tempeh. Tempeh was cool.
I really feel like he should have killed the demon infernal there. Like, but it's kind of sad that he wasn't like strong enough. Maybe if he was like,
yeah, they should have
older
given
and
him the win.
experienced.
Like,
Gotta give it to Shinra because
Yeah,
Shonen
main character.
protagonist, main character.
yeah.
You know what they say. But I mean, Ogen's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that Shinra actually had some friends outside of Company 8 beforehand, because the way that they set up Shinra is that he basically felt like he was like ostracized for his background because of him apparently killing his family, which didn't happen. But you know, people don't know that, so they actually assume that. And it's really cool to see people not believe that, like I guess Ogun and stuff. Because obviously Arthur's all the time calling him like a devil and stuff. And
Yeah, so
Ogun's like, nah, he's cool.
So yeah, it seems like Ogun was really his only friend at the academy. Ogun was friends with Arthur, and he said, Arthur and I let you tag along with us. Or me and Arthur were your only friends or whatever. And Arthur's like, we're not friends. You know, like it was very much like, it seemed like Ogun considered Shinra a friend. Shinra considered Ogun a friend. But Arthur was just kind of there. Like, it's like Arthur just kind of hangs around. But they brought Shinra in because I guess Shinra joined after they did, I guess. Yeah, it was kind of cool to see that he actually had a friend before joining the 8th. And he's actually like a really cool dude. He's
really cool. He's not a mean person. He's nice. He's very friendly. Honestly, I feel like in the future, I mean, obviously I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like he's gonna be a really good model Fire Force member in the future. Like, he'll be really good. Maybe like even a commander probably if he keeps up, because I remember, and it said in the wiki, but in the anime too, they referenced that his power is on level with the captain of Company 1, Leonard Burns, like when he uses his flaming ink. And again, it was like super cool. It's probably one of my favorite like fight moments in the anime. So I really like that. Ogun's a pretty cool character. I feel like if you were to watch the show, or you have watched the show, then you would probably like it. I like him. He's pretty nice.
Yeah, and it shows he does show up in a couple more arcs. I'm not reading what he does because I don't want to get spoiled in case they do make a season 3, or I
Yeah, he,
decide
of course.
to
I mean,
read the
obviously they would
manga.
introduce a character. They wouldn't
Mhm.
introduce a character and then kill him right away, now would they? Huh? No way.
No! What are you talking
No,
about?
beheading
What?
somebody, that would never happen.
No, especially if he was actually really cool, you know, that he's
Yeah.
staying forever.
Yeah, no, wouldn't do that. Animes aren't cruel like that.
Mm-mm.
No,
Nope.
no.
Nope. Yeah, Ogren's really cool. I'm excited if we get a season 3 to see more of what he does.
Me
Fun fact
too.
about him, one of his aliases, apparently, that people call him is Black Star, which is probably just a reference to Soul Eater, since they're made by the same person.
Yes. It probably is a reference. That is a nice fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Nice fun fact.
Yeah.
All right, who's next on our list of characters?
Alrighty. I say we talk about your boy, the Juggernaut.
All right. Well, I'll start, I guess. So basically, Juggernaut, or his name is Takerunoto. He was actually introduced in season 1. He was in the rookie arc a lot. Like he's a new person. I think he comes from like outside of New Tokyo and stuff. Basically,
He comes from the peninsula. Yeah.
The peninsula. Yeah, he comes from the peninsula. That's right. And his family's out there. He basically like, tends to like potato fields. In season 1, he wasn't like a big character, so I didn't really want to mention him. But I feel like the anime really like developed his character a lot better, makes him more understood. In the beginning, I'm like, I never really cared for him, but then there's like a moment. I'm not gonna talk about it now. I'll talk about it later when we get to like the best fight scenes, because obviously it is the best fight scene for me. But I really feel like out of all the characters, Juggernaut really shined for me the most in season 2. He's probably my most favorite character of season 2. Because
He
it's
definitely
really
had
cool
more
to see that
screen time than
character.
I expected him to have. Like I figured he would be there for like the little peninsula bit, then we wouldn't see him again for a few arcs. But then they brought him back like pretty much immediately right after, and I was like, oh, okay, we're getting a lot of Juggernaut this season. Yeah.
But his character is really cool. He could basically make like weapons out of his like body, like out of his fire. I mean, like he can make missiles, he can make nukes, he can make bullets, he can make things like that. It's like really cool. And it's like a really strong power, especially with news. Like, unfortunately, it's not really helpful to him considering his cowardice personality.
He has what they
the
call
time.
it. They had a name for it. I saw on here. Let me see. He has pyrophobia. He is terrified of fire. And he said in the first season the reason he joined the fire force was he hoped they could find a way to take his fire away from him. But then they're like, this dude can create all these huge explosives. No, he's great. So like they were trying to train him to like, get used to it and whatnot. You know, like I remember in the first season, it's like, if you're scared of fire, why'd you join? I wanted them to take the fire away. You realize the fire force fights fires. That's why I thought they could take it away. It's like, no, like, yeah, he's very cowardly, which is fine. Like I don't have anything against cowardly characters. But he did
personally,
get a little
I don't
annoying.
either. But when you're in the line of duty like that, you shouldn't really be cowardly because you're literally putting your life on the lines for others.
Right.
I can understand being a coward in other times, like, oh no, I don't want to go into the forest because it's scary. That's understandable.
Yeah.
But something like that is kind of dumb, so that's why I didn't really like him at first. But I feel like they really did a good job with his character. He also has a crush on Tamaki.
He does have a crush on Tamaki. I didn't realize Tamaki's last name was Kotatsu for a while. So I was like, why does he keep calling her Kotatsu? And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, that's her last name. That makes more sense now.
Maybe she just wants to get under the Kotatsu, huh?
Maybe. But no, he kept being like, Kotatsu. And I was like, why is he calling her Kotatsu? And then I was like, oh, that's like, yeah. I think it doesn't help that Takeru, he has the one dub voice I really don't like.
It's really Chris George.
Yeah.
I
don't know if it's necessarily the voice actor that I dislike, or if it's just I don't like the way he did Takeru's voice specifically. I don't know what else Chris George has been in.
Let me look up his other voice.
But he's got this kind of like high pitched shrill voice normally in the dub, and then whenever he's talking about when he's like in China talking with the family, he gets like one of the worst country accents I've ever heard, but it's like slightly lower pitched, but still like incredibly high pitched. And I don't care for it. It looks like he's been in a few things actually.
Yeah, he's in My Hero. He's Sato.
Okay, I don't mind Sato in My Hero. That's fine.
He's this. Oh my god.
He's in Attack on Titan as Flagel, but I don't remember who Flagel is.
Oh, he's in Interviews with Monster Girls as the main character for the dub.
Okay.
That was
he's in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I've not seen that yet, but
he is?
Okay. Yep. He plays Geld.
Did I miss that when I was scrolling down? Huh, I
I'm
must
in
admit,
IMDb. That's what it says.
I am behind the voice actors. I like that website better.
I usually do too, but IMDb just popped up for me, so I was like, all right.
Oh,
He's in Tokyo Ghoul Re as Gagi.
as Gagi,
Mm-hmm.
he is in fact from Attack on Titan. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just the way he did the Noto voice. I
He
just
doesn't
don't care
have
for it.
many major roles, but
No.
he has some roles.
He's in Blockade Battlefront as
He's
additional voices / Garrett.
he's Beepo from One Piece. You remember
Oh,
who Beepo is?
I think I know who Beepo is.
Law's crew member.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
the
Oh, the bear. Yeah.
the bear.
I know the name, but I can't think. But yeah, the bear. Oh, that's fun. But yeah, so I feel like the dub voice. He's the one that I was like, I, because it's not finished dubbed yet. So since I've been watching it dubbed, I continued. But I think it started being dubbed at episode 17. So the first 17 episodes I watched all dubbed, and then I switched to sub for the rest. And he's the one character I genuinely preferred the sub voice over. All the rest I thought were about equal.
I thought his voice was very like pinpoint, really pretty good, pretty accurate for his character. Like it sounded really cowardly, but when he really stepped up to the plate, it sounded really good.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get to hear like the really good stuff because that part's not been dubbed yet. So I saw like the part where he's like, run away. And I was like, all right, but maybe that'll change. Who knows?
Something else I want to mention, it's not really a power. I'm not sure if it's a power, but basically, this is read off from the Wikia page. Somehow he is capable of regenerating his body or the clothing that acted as a decoy, as shown when his body was seemingly torn apart by characters and he shrugged off the entirety of the damage. Because there were so many parts where I thought he died. Like literally, like he got like full of holes and he's like, no, I'm fine. It's just a flesh wound. Don't worry about it. I'm back. Although his body can still be harmed by well-aimed attacks or if his layers are stripped away throughout the battle, Juggernaut specializes in long-range strong combat, preferring to hit from range, reducing the enemy number by sheer firepower. But yeah, it's such a weird power, but I'm like, all right, if you can make it your own, man, more power to you. I thought it was really weird, but I thought it was cool later on, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like it's like almost just like a running gag. He just wears so many jackets because he's so terrified of fire that when they hit him, they don't hit him, they just hit the clothes. But yeah, there was one part where still like when they're at the peninsula, they're all fighting. Like the demon literally puts a hole like right through dead center. And it was like, oh, you just hit my jacket. It's like, no, like they literally put a hole through you. Like, did your body just all of a sudden like slide over or something? But it's like, okay, there's a few times like he should have died, but it's just a joke, I guess.
I thought he actually died. Hurt.
Oh my God. But it did make it better for like the fight that you're talking about that you really like, where he finally gets hurt. It's like, oh, I finally found where your body is, and he's like, kind of, but it's like, I mean, you're bleeding.
We'll talk about that more later. Yeah. I don't want to mention it now during the character stuff. No. I guess that's really all I can mention about Juggernaut. I really like him. Definitely the GOAT of season 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously he didn't do anything too big, but his moment really like stood out the most to me. That's really, I really like that. I love it when side characters get developed. I love it. I love it so much. That's my thing.
Really like side characters, so I always like seeing whenever they have more time. Let's see.
But you just said Juggernaut was all right, so get out of here, Falcon.
Well, yeah, he's not my favorite side character.
No, there's the door. Get out.
I'll kick you. No, I'm joking. That's fine.
All right, let's do the next character.
Let's see. So we've got 2 left. We can either talk about Nataku or Joker.
Oh, let's save Joker for last. Let's talk about Nataku.
Let's talk about our boy Nataku.
I don't like him. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I don't like his name. And Nataku-san is such a weird name. But basically, there's this little boy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go on.
There's this little boy. He was actually introduced in season 1 during the fight with Rekka. I don't think we mentioned Rekka that much in the first podcast, but basically he's this guy who used to be a captain for Company 1, but then he's actually a bad guy. He's the one who's like been turning the people into infernals, and he actually gave Sun the infernal back then. He didn't turn into an infernal. He just like took it in. Yeah, oh my God, this is great.
Trying to find people for potential. And he was able to sense Nataku might. And he gave him the bug, and it proved it worked because he didn't turn into the infernal. So the thing is, if you didn't have potential to have like the Adola burst or whatever, it would just turn you into an infernal. Yeah, that was the whole deal when they were trying to figure out who the mole was, and they found out it's Rekka. He was back there, and then he gets taken away, and we find out he's been at Haijima's labs being studied and observed ever since.
Yeah, he's actually also the sixth pillar. He actually gets
Yeah,
awakened as the sixth pillar. He has this
he
weird like
does.
firepower that comes out of his arm, I think, right? That was him with the arm. I don't really remember.
Yeah, that's why he had that one really long sleeve, because it was his fireproof sleeve.
Yeah, okay, that's right. That's right. Okay. And he technically has his own protector. What was his name? He's that guy with like the really black eyes.
Yeah, he's not like officially his protector, but they essentially
Karen's
are like,
like, this is like his protector and
Kurono.
stuff, you know?
It is Kurono.
Oh yeah.
He's the guy who's like, I just like beating up weaklings. Stay weak.
I like to beat up the weaklings.
No, I mean, like, he literally said, he's like, I like beating up children because they're so weak. And it's like, damn, okay. Like, you kind of a jerk, but all right, whatever. Yeah, Kurono's the one person who was able to actually like get him to calm down and stuff at the end. So even though the White Clad's like, we need to take him, they're like, you know what? We'll just leave him here right now. That guy's his protector. We're good.
Yeah, this guy is like a crazy power. We're talking about Sun.
I'm aware we're talking about Nataku.
I feel really bad about Sun. This guy probably has the most PTSD in the whole series. He literally sees Rekka like everywhere. And it's just like, honestly, I felt like super bad for him. Like, honestly, during that arc when he got like all the bodies went to him and he got like super big, and then how Maya used her thing to like make him be more honest. I don't know what was like. He like, what did she do to his mind?
I don't remember what she did exactly.
But basically, he made it so his inhibitors were like released. So I guess he was more like honest with himself. But like, it was so weird. It's like sometimes when you're talking, Rekka would be in his mouth, and it was just like really creepy.
Yeah. So what Halamea did is it says that she could tell he was like had like a bunch of really like distressing emotions between Rekka and the puppeteer, always telling him to like be hopeful and to do his best and all of that sort of thing.
He didn't want that.
She used her power to increase his aggression level, so he just kind of like went berserk mode because of Halamea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really feel bad for Nataku because like it even shows as a kid, he kind of had almost that like stereotypical Asian parents that gets joked around about being like, if you don't get a 100, you're failing. Because they're like, you got a test where it's like 100, like, great, you're gonna be a great doctor like your father, and then he comes home with like an 87, which is still a great grade. It's a B, and then it's just like, oh, where do we go wrong? Your father's gonna be so disappointed. You were such a, like, into the world that he brought home a B. Yeah. It's like he went from that to then getting this bug put into him to going to a lab to where it's like, you need to be doing better. We need to study your flames. You can do an Adola burst. Why haven't you done an Adola? Like, I feel really bad. Like, this kid's trying as hard as he can, doing his best no matter what he's doing. And everyone's still just like, well, that's not good enough. You have to do better.
And then you have his Kurono, who's just like, just stay weak so I can beat you up. Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, you're the best person ever.
Yeah, I remember how, like, I think
it's such a weird angle.
Really got to him. I think he said something like, you're a kid, be weak while you can. That's something you can't do when you're older. I forgot exactly what he said, but it kind of something about like, don't worry about getting super strong right now. Like, be a kid, be naive, be weak. That's something you can only do as a kid. Like, and that's kind of finally what snaps him out of it. And of course, Kurono doesn't actually care about the kid. He just wants to beat up the kid while he's still weak before he gets super strong. But
I think Karen made like
they blended
Karen
well
or
together.
Someone else said it, and he was like, yeah, it's such a weird angle, but it really saved us all. So if it works, it works. Something like that.
I think it was Karen. He was like, we're pulling out because clearly that guy is the only one who can be his protector right now. So we're just gonna leave him here, and like they just like bail. And then the Fire Force is like, he has a point. We'll just leave.
It's like, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So weird. So freaking weird.
But yeah, like it was really weird, especially seeing the White Clad pull out. But yeah, like Kurono's not a good person, and you wouldn't want him normally around your kid. But just all the stresses and like trauma that Nataku has had, Kurono's kind of the person he needs to be with right now. They kind of make each other work. So it's as weird as it is, it makes sense. I get it. But yeah, it's like normally if I had a kid and there's some guy like Kurono, I'm like, you are not coming near my kid. Like, we're going over here. Like, but yeah, like, yeah, oh, gosh. Like Shinra talked about, he was at this lab, as a kid after his mom turned into the, demon. And Kurono, he hated Kurono like with a passion. And even though he never really did much with him, And I love how Corona remembers. He's like, I remember you. I never got to beat you up. Let's get it. Let's do it. Like, I've been waiting for this a long time. Like, I'm gonna beat up the Demon Foot kid. Let's go. But I think my favorite thing with Corona is literally when Nataku first goes berserk after all the like bodies get attached to him or whatever.
He gets the phone
He's
call.
just like, yeah, they get the phone call, and it's like, oh yeah, I see it. He looks strong. What are you doing anything about it? I was fighting the weak people. Why are you fighting the weak people? Because I don't want to fight the strong people. He's just going, it's like, what? Imbecile? Me? It's like, yeah, I was fighting the weak people. Oh, okay. It's just like, and he's like, I need to find a new job if I'm gonna have to be fighting these strong guys all over the place. Like, I was laughing so hard at that part, just like,
it was
take him out,
funny.
but I was fighting the weak guys. I like
want to keep
fighting
the weak
guys.
ones.
I don't want to fight him. Like, you crazy?
He looks strong.
He looks really strong. Yeah.
But basically, we feel bad for Sun. He's literally probably the worst child I've seen in anime as of recently. Like, that kid has like bad PTSD, man. Really bad.
Is he worse than the Promised Neverland kids, though?
We're not talking about the Promised
I'm just posing a question.
That's a
Tangents
bad
are fine. We have been told people enjoy tangents, you know?
I mean, now we're just, if you were to get into it, that's like two different instances.
Yeah, like, it really is true, though. But yeah.
And also, technically, the kids from the Promised Neverland didn't really realize what was happening until not like the beginning of their lives. The Sun guy, he literally
he knew what was going on the whole time. Yeah. Fair point. Anything else we want to talk about our boy Nataku Sun, the sixth pillar?
Here's a trivia. It is possible that 25 people were killed by Nataku's infected imagination rampage. That there were 6 killed by Kurono and 1 killed by Ritsu. Oh, so basically, all those bodies that they used to combine together. Apparently, that Nataku might have killed them.
Oh, I never noticed this, but it says he currently has white pupils, like Shinra, Sho, Tamaki, and Inca, and I've never noticed that. I've never noticed that they had white pupils. But that's interesting. I can't even think about it. They actually
I think he does have white pupils. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something I've never noticed, but apparently all of the pillars just have white pupils.
Well, really Tamaki's not a pillar. It just mentions their powers in general, like the fire powers.
Okay. But I think most of the others were actually pillars, though. Sho's a pillar.
Sho,
interesting.
Shinra, and Inca. Yeah.
Maybe that's foreshadowing.
It's not. I already know. Okay. I already spoiled myself.
It's after awakening their powers. Okay. Because I was like, Inca, yes. Tamaki, no. Sho, yes. Shinra, yes. But okay. I guess Tamaki just had it fully away. But yeah, okay, whatever. No biggie. So Joker!
Joker! You Persona?
Persona of where?
Persona! No, okay, so Joker.
Our boy Joker.
So basically, I think we touched a little bit about him on the first podcast of season 1, but we learned more about him this season. Basically, Joker, to reiterate, he's a character who uses like smoke flames, I think, right? Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, he also uses like cards to fight too. That was pretty cool when I saw it.
He has the ability to generate and manipulate his own flames, igniting cigarettes with his finger. Yeah, so it looks like
it's create various shapes in the form of letters, suits of cards, or card-shaped projectiles. So basically, he can just manipulate flames. He's a third-generation pyrokinetic. Yeah. We find out that he actually worked for the church as an assassin.
Mm-hmm. He was raised by them as like a little kid. The thing is Holy Soul Shadow, yeah.
Holy Soul.
He was essentially the people who no one at the church knew about, who just went out carrying out all their dirty work.
Yeah, I feel like the captain at the time when he was a kid was just really, pardon my language, but really a big asshole.
I mean, he still was.
For no reason.
Like reunite, and he's just like, "Oh, what are you doing?
Think you're a big kid, huh? Think you're a big guy, huh? You want to go? You think you're big?
You now, like it's like, all right, yeah. I mean, I feel like you usually see that in things where the church may or may not be the good guys.
Oh, that happens all the time. The corruption.
Yeah, there's always that one like super abusive person, and I feel like that's kind of his mentor. Oh, he's the super abusive church guy who just like, what was it he told him like? When we go back to seeing him when he's a kid and he's like chained to the wall where he's getting like flogged or whatever. Didn't he say it was like he was going to defile him in any way, like in every way he could or something like that? pretty much like, I'm just gonna ruin your life until you just blindly follow what I tell you to do.
I felt
He
really
wasn't
bad for
cool guy.
Joker when he was a kid. He finally like escaped from the shadow place, and then he joined that family, and that family was like super nice for them, and then the church killed them.
Yeah, because he passed out outside their house, and the daughter like finds him, and they pull him in and like give him food and like let him shower and stuff, and then he leaves and they tell him to come back for like dinner or whatever, and then he shows up and they've all been killed.
I think he
Um,
went to do errands for them.
oh, that's right. They asked if he'd like go to the store for them or something. He's like, yeah, sure. You all, help me
You're
out. I'll
nice
go
to
do that. And
me.
he
I'll
comes
help you
back and
out. He came back.
yeah,
They're dead.
yeah.
Always got to be
Uh,
death. Can't just like force them to leave. Nope.
nope.
Got to kill him.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for Joker, but Joker has a really cool power. He's also in league with
Mhm.
Victor Licht.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
knew
if
in the
that's
first
right.
season they were working together. We didn't know in what capacity. I
But
feel like
now
it's
we
safe to
do.
say he's probably not overall a bad guy. He's probably just kind of like that mysterious guy who's helping out from the shadows.
I'd call
Um,
him anti-villain, anti-hero,
Probably, I'd
probably.
say he's more like anti-hero kind of. Yeah, he's not really a vigilante. Anti-hero would
He
probably be better.
also him and Cap Burns, the leader of Captain Company One,
One,
they both experienced an Adola link together for the
and
first
that's why they
time.
have the eye patch over
Eye
different
patch.
eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like how that's cool. How like they're connected in that little way. Um, yeah, it was super interesting seeing them like kind of reconnect somewhat. He was like, "Oh, you came here," and it's like, "Oh, you're gonna fight me?" It's like, "Nah, I'm gonna give you info." Like
I'm just gonna give
nobody
you the
knows
info.
about you all down here, so if they all die and I let you leave, like, who's really gonna know but me? Like,
It was weird that it was like Benny because Joker during that arc, like the few episodes, Joker enlisted Benny Maru to go help him.
mhm.
So it was cool to see more of that was happening.
I love how we got. I was like, I don't even know who you are. Who are you? Don't worry about that. But you hate the church, right? Well, yeah. Like, let's go investigate. What do you
Let's go kick
mean?
their butts.
Yeah, and then finally it's like, okay, and they goes like, that's Benny Maru, captain of the seventh. Yeah, and it's just like he doesn't give a shit. It's like, yeah, I'll attack the church. Why not? Let's go. But I thought that was a lot of fun.
I love that episode how it ended, and there was that guy who was coming out the door, and he shot that thing at Benny Maru, and then Benny Maru just falls, and Joker's just looking and was like, "Hey, is that
Is
everything?"
that really gonna
And then
take you
and then the
out?
screen fades to dark, and it says "weakling." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." And literally the next episode, he just gets up like the next second.
Mhm.
Like, you really think Benny Maru was gonna go down that easy? You really
Yeah.
think that?
Yeah, no, and then he just gets up. He's like, he's like, he's alive. It's like, yeah, he's alive. Do you think Benny Maru was dead?
Yeah, that'd be
Like,
great.
no. Yeah, I do like that his main goal is just exposing the truth of the church. Like, he knows all the backstory and what's going on, or the majority of it. I wouldn't say all of it.
Which the
Um,
viewer finds out, but not the
mhm.
characters. That
Yeah,
actually, one of the guys from the White Clad actually disguised himself as the guy who found the flame or something, and
mhm.
they have their inner workings into the church. So
Yeah,
we don't know much about that. The viewer knows, the characters don't really know.
right.
I think Joker might know secretly, but they don't know like
I
exactly
think
100%. They
he
have a
knows more than he's
suspicion.
letting on. But
They
yeah,
have a
like,
suspicion.
mhm.
I wouldn't say he knows more than he's letting on. I'm gonna say he's probably more knowing than like Shinra and Company 8, but he doesn't know exactly. He just has a sneaking suspicion. Doesn't have
Probably.
100% confirmation. But we, the viewer, do, because we literally had a character be like, "Oh yeah, that was me. I did it."
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
like
like, "Oh,
Shinra and
okay,
Company 8 find out because they're told by a character.
yeah,
But that was interesting.
that was
Uh,
interesting."
mhm.
I guess that's all our characters.
Yeah, that's all for the characters that we did.
I guess we should move on real quick. Actually, before we move on to character changing opinions of some of the characters we
Mhm.
already talked about, I want to mention a fun fact, and I want to talk about the popularity contest that we should have mentioned
Oh,
last
okay.
episode. Real quick, I just found this other fun fact while I was scrolling. I'm not sure if we mentioned this last time, but if we did, we'll mention it again. Captain Obi of Company 8, his English voice actor Jeremy Inman was
Mhm.
actually a former firefighter and paramedic.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is super cool. I get he
Mhm.
was really happy for that role to be it. So it's really nice to see like things like that. So hey, firefighters bringing to the
Mhm.
anime community is always great. I wonder if this Jeremy person's made like a page when it's like how anime portrays firefighting and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like directly like
Possibly.
firefighting, but there's similar elements to it.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean, they're like the
cool.
special fire force. They have the normal firemen there that just help put out the actual flames after the infernals are gone. We see, but
All right. So, real quick, I want to talk about the popularity contest. We did it last episode. But basically, there was only one popularity contest
Mm-hmm.
that and it came out in 2017, which is kind of weird that they didn't do another one.
Yeah, they
I'm
usually do
trying
like
to
one a
see.
year. I feel
I'm trying
like.
to see. So it looks like the first chapter of the manga came out September 23rd, 2015, and I'm actually trying to look right now. The popularity contest was 10. It was October 5th, 2017. October. What did I say? October 7th.
You said October 25th.
Thank you. So it looks like that's up to chapter 60 or something. Oh, no wait, I'm sorry. This one took in Japan. It's up to chapter 87 or 90 or something in the
Okay.
manga. So basically think of it as just season 1 of the anime. We probably should have mentioned this in the last podcast episode, but that's okay. So basically the popularity poll, I'll just talk about the top 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
Um so the first place goes to Shinra Kusakabe, our
Mm-hmm.
main
Yep.
character, with 1,368 votes. Pretty good, pretty
Too
nice. Of
many.
course, the main character. He's really too many.
Too many.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
I'm
You're
joking.
right. Arthur should have gotten first place,
Oh,
honestly,
you
with the
know it.
little
Arthur's
Arthur.
everyone's favorite.
Yeah. The second place we got Tamaki Kotatsu with
Woo!
1,225 votes. A lot of people like her as the best girl. I don't blame them.
Apparently.
Apparently. Third place, we got Maki Oze. Ozai.
Yay! Best
She
girl.
has 756 votes. That's not best girl. Fourth
Thank you,
place,
best
we
girl.
got Benimaru Shinman with 724 votes. Fifth
Makes
place, we
sense.
got Iris with 702 votes. Sixth place, we got Arthur with 620 votes. Seventh place, we have best girl Hibana with 537 votes. Eighth place, we have Obi with 461 votes. Ninth place, we have Hinawa with 401 votes. And then we have, I'm going to mention 11th place real quick for this one, but 10th place, we have Mara with 332 votes. And just in case you forgot who Mara is, like I did, it is one of Maki's flames that she talks to. This
And it's
flame
weird because
got
it's not even the main
332
one.
votes. It's not. That's
Butter
Pussy
is the
Pooch.
main one, and then like Flare comes out later, but Flare is the one who they call Mara as well. So it's like, why Flare out of both of them? But all right.
And I want to mention, so Mara had 332 votes. In 11th place, we have Sho Kusakabe, Shinra's brother, with 331 votes.
Mhm.
Mara, a flame that literally has no character, no presence, got one more vote than Sho. I'm just
Yep.
going to leave it at that.
And how many more did he get than Juggernaut?
Oh, shut up. I literally told you this was before season 2. Don't be a crappy poopy head, okay, Falcon? I don't appreciate that.
All right.
Quit yawning. Season 1 Juggernaut sucked. I'll admit. I know.
Yeah.
I know I
All
like
right.
him overall as a character now.
Mhm.
All right.
But
So I
that
guess we should
leads us
move on.
into opinion changes on the current characters between the seasons.
I guess we should go in order of just the main characters. I bet we could both agree that Shinra probably didn't change. He's still the main character.
No, yeah,
So,
Shinra.
righteous. Shinra.
I feel like the main ones that really had an effect that you might have had opinion changes on would be Arthur, Tamaki, Juggernaut, maybe Maki.
We're not talking about Juggernaut. I'm gonna say Maki. I'm gonna say Victor too. I'm gonna say those 4
Okay.
main characters. So basically, just so we could reread all the characters, I'm gonna say Shinra, Obi, Hinawa, and Iris are all the same. Their opinions haven't changed. They're basically the same.
Yeah, I guess I was about to say Iris maybe, but then I'm like, no, not really.
Shouldn't
Yeah,
really
she's
do
probably the
that
same.
much.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Arthur first.
Mhm.
Basically Arthur, he's still like the same gag character. But we did actually get a little insight on his background. It's not like super big, but basically his parents kind of just like abandoned him.
Yeah.
And they kind of gave him the like, hey, now you're the king of the castle now, Arthur. You gotta lead all the guards and people. And that basically gave Arthur his Chunibyo. I guess I'll call it Chunibyo. Why not? His Chunibyo being
Yeah.
like the king of the castle.
Yeah,
and
just
all
kind
the
of his
times being, like, the
delusions.
best knight, his delusions and stuff. And it
Yeah,
was
and
kind
you
of
find
really
out
sad.
his dad was kind of like that too, but his dad had more of like a cowboy focus, I guess. Then that's where he was asking his dad about it or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, well, close your eyes, and what do you see?" He's like, "I see a castle." And it's like, "Oh, well, you're king of this castle now." And then like he wakes up the next morning and the parents are gone with the note that's just like, you can do it. You're the best little knight, you know, and it's like, okay.
And see, my problem with Arthur is not his delusions. I actually think that's kind of funny, but just his idiocy. Though it didn't really stand out that much in season 2. So I think Arthur was fine. He played to his role to a T. I really liked in the beginning where Shinra was like possessed by the first.
That was my favorite Arthur moment the whole time.
That's when we also get Arthur's backstory. But like, I really like that. He's like, oh, are you gonna keep being a devil? Or are you gonna be a hero like you always wanted to be? You keep saying this, and I'm gonna actually kill you.
Yeah, I liked how he finally was kind of like, they don't like each other, but that's where he finally like kind of acknowledges that he at least respects Shinra somewhat. It's kind of like, oh, so you're finally going to be the hero? You're going to let this person win and just become the demon we all think you are. But I really like too how he assigns everybody like a traditional like party role if they're there. So you think who his teammate is, and I just forgot his name. The guy with the whistle. He was one of my favorites they introduced. He's like,
he was basically Shinra's teacher.
Yeah, he's like
training school. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just forgot his name, but he's like, he has a whistle. He's a bard, and then like he's going through and just like assigning different classes to everybody. You see this like fantasy like drawing of like them and all like the get up or whatever.
His name is Panko Pat.
Pan. Yeah, that's what it is. I was like, I remember it was really short, but yeah, Pan. Or Pan, which however you want to say it. But yeah, I just like how he was like, but all right, let's go. It's like we can do this.
And then the captain of Company 4 was just like a shield, like the sadistic shield of pleasure or something.
Yeah, because he just kept wanting to get burned by Shinra. He's like, oh, shoot me the fire, burn me. And he's like, shield. Yes.
Shield, like, that's a shame. Yeah. It's a shame he died at the end of season 2.
Yeah, that kind of came out of left field too somewhat. But I feel like that was more just set up for the potential third season. I was like, oh, the third season will be really good if we get it. But yeah,
it sure is great when it leads to a death. But yeah, basically Arthur's pretty cool. Still the same. I like his backstory. It really brings his character more into depth. So I feel like we didn't really need it, but it was really great that we had it.
It was nice seeing the explanation as to why he is the way he is. Like, I liked Arthur, but he wasn't my favorite. I thought he was okay. But yeah, I was just kind of like, he's just like too much of an idiot. And I guess that's kind of because he lives in his delusion so much. He just doesn't give a crap about anything else because he doesn't feel like he should. And that's probably why he's as dumb as he is. But like, yeah, there's times where it's just like, come on, dude, you can't be that dumb. Like, but then it's also people that just like
delusions way too much.
But this is also the guy who they're like, oh, you mean your sword's on a holy sword you had to pull out of a stone? What do you mean? Oh, aren't all the best swords one you have to pull out of an object to make them have their power? You're right. You know, it's just like, it's kind of like, all right, I feel like he just lives in this delusion world, so he just doesn't give a shit. But yeah, I liked him a little bit better. It was nice having backstory and understanding the way he is and kind of figuring out how he thinks a little bit. But otherwise, he didn't improve much.
Nope. All right, let's move on. I guess we should talk about Maki next.
Maki Ose.
Maki had a bit of an arc here. Mm-hmm. Now, I definitely remember I mentioned in the first season, the previous episode of the podcast, that I feel like we didn't get much about Maki, and we really should. Looks like I was right on my guess on that. Yep. Look at that. And I'm going to say it was a little underwhelming.
Yeah. I think she's still my favorite.
She's still a really great character.
But yeah, it was just kind of...
Like they were like building it up and like, oh, something really cool is gonna happen. Maki's gonna shine. Then she just like appears in another, like, oh, she is. And her brother was there, and her brother's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I am Fire Force team member always. And I'm like, that's great.
Yeah, so I mean, her whole thing, you know, was just so that her dad was like the commander of the military or whatever, and he hates the Fire Force because he thinks that Hinawa like tricked her into joining, and she's not cut out for it. But essentially, it was just overprotective father and brother don't want her to be in danger, and by doing the Fire Force work, she's in danger all the time when they could just keep her as a secretary and be the cute little girl they love. Like, they even so much as tell her she's gained weight at family dinner, and it's like, really, like, one, that you never do that, but two, like, they weren't even referring like, oh, you're fat. It's like, why are you getting so buff? Guys aren't going to date you with all that muscle, you know? And it's like, she's already self-conscious about it. You saw it when she was like getting out of the shower, like, have I gotten
like one of the very first episodes?
Yeah, she's like, am I really gotten that much more beefy? Oh man, like, it's like, but yeah, and then like the whole thing was like just that. Yeah, they pull her out because they didn't want her to go to the Nether operation, and it turns out at the end, like, she was the only one who could save, like,
she was vital
the whole empire from blowing up. Like, she finally kind of made them like realize like I'm your daughter and I'm like cute, innocent Maki to you all, but like I can do this. I'm tough. Like I have to do this. But
It
yeah,
was
it
really
was
nice for her to stand up to her brother like that.
yeah.
Especially since her brother and her like were the ones that like saved everything at the end of
Yeah.
that arc.
It was
The
kind of
Nether
nice.
arc.
They were the ones who had to work together to finally get everything
I
saved.
can't wait
But
till season 3 where it ends in the Nether again because that's a recurring theme apparently.
yeah. I mean, this one technically didn't end in the Nether. We had a few episodes after that kind of tied
Well,
up loose
technically it's
ends,
the
but
same thing with that one. Episode 24 was in the
that's
Nether.
true. Actually, yeah, you're right. But yeah, it'll probably be like the final arc, like, oh, we're fighting the White Clad or the Evangelist in the Nether.
And in the
Ooh,
Nether, ooh.
yeah. But yeah, Maki didn't really improve much with me, but she stayed consistent. I feel like I liked having her
Yeah, she
backstory,
stayed
saying kind
consistent.
of like where she came from, but overall, it was just like my family's overprotective of me. But you know what? I respect you and kind of love you, so it's cool. Don't worry about it. Like,
Yeah, it's
but my
cool.
parents hate, or my dad hates you. Like, just so you
My
know.
brother hates you.
Yeah,
Like
my
his brother was like
father
really
hates
going
you.
in on Hino during like the battles, and Hino
Like
was just like focused on
he'd
the
be like,
battle.
yeah. Oh god, like it's like, well, your bullets are just deflecting off. It's like, okay, yeah, so his skin's hard, but his joint probably isn't. Well, you should have figured it out quick, sooner. And it's just like, dude, whatever. Like, oh hell, Hino was just like zoning him out and didn't care. It's just like, come on, we have to move to get safe. Oh, you blah 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 blah. Oh, we should probably go over there. Like, let's go. But yeah, they really kind of set up more like relationships almost in this season.
Yeah, that's something I
Now that
wanted
I'm
to say
thinking about it.
later. I feel
Mhm.
like the anime didn't really focus too much on the story this time. I feel like it focused No wait, was it the story or the character interactions? I feel like cuz I was thinking about it like when I was halfway through the anime, but I feel like it wasn't really focusing on story too much. It was focusing more on characters a little
It
bit.
was weird. So it focused on story a lot right at the start, and then they had like a couple episodes that were more just like character specific, and then they go into the next arc, and then they finish and have more character specific episodes. So it was kind of like you had the first arc with the whole Chinese peninsula, and then you had a couple of focus episodes for like Iris and Arthur. Well, Arthur at the
Little
start, and then Iris, and then kind of Tamaki later.
little off topic, but yeah, the one with Tamaki, literally. So in the first opening, which we'll talk about the openings later,
Mm-hmm.
but there's this guy, and he's like literally watching like porn or scandalous stuff,
Yeah,
and like it would only appear for like a second on the screen. I'm
yeah.
like, who is that character?
I couldn't tell who it
I don't
was either. I
recognize
was
him.
like, who?
And then you have this guy. I think it was episode 18, and this is way after the first opening. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I'm done with my training. I'm ready to go fight Tamaki, the worst person ever. She's so
Mm-hmm.
scandalous. And it turns out he's this guy from like the first arc who literally was just like
The guy
couldn't
she beat
handle
up in the
Tamaki.
Nether.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was just like, okay.
And you just have him like constantly going to battle. He constantly goes to like train to like get used to the pervertedness, and it just doesn't work. And I'm just like, why is this happening? This is so pointless.
Yeah, actually, she beat him up in the first one, but wasn't it by like tripping and like falling on him, and like her boobs like hit his face, and like he just like
I
passed
thought
out.
her and Iris like beat him up with like a pipe.
Oh, that's right. But Maki's clothes had come off or whatever, and he was just
Yeah,
kind of like,
definitely.
"What? Why are you?
What?
Do you not have any like shame or whatever?" Then they like hit him with the pipe or whatever. Yeah, that's right. They did hit him with the pipe or whatever. But yeah, it was just kind of like he lost the fight. He feels because he wasn't used to like the scandalous activity, so his training is just like watching a bunch of porn till it does nothing to him, and then trying to fight her, thinking he'll just beat her up. But it's
But
like,
it was just
okay,
so weird for it to show that in like the first opening and then have it
yeah,
later.
it didn't make any sense. It was kind of like the opinion I had with Takeru in the second Digimon Adventure ending. Like we hadn't really seen TK or Takeru, whichever you want to call him, but yeah, he was in the ending for like the
The whole
last half,
time. Yeah.
and then
And
all
he
of a
didn't even
sudden
need
it's
that.
like we see him in like the last 3 episodes, and it was like, okay, like I like TK. He was in the opening with Kari, so like we knew he was like prevalent, but then like he had the main spot of the ending, and it was like, okay, but yeah. Anyway, that's
But
major off
Patamon.
topic.
But
Yeah,
Patamon.
I mean, I love Patamon. Patamon's great.
Patamon.
Hey, TK. Yeah.
Shinramon.
Shinra. Oh, but anyway, yeah. So we talked about Maki and Arthur.
I guess since we were just talking about it, let's talk about
next.
Tamaki.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna say, Falcon, I'll let you go first. Go ahead. Talk. What do you think?
So if you watch the first episode, you know very well what I think about Tamaki. My opinion on her has risen a little bit, but not really because of anything she did. More of they didn't focus on the fan servicey part of her too much.
I think it all happened
for
like
the
3
episode with the
times.
one guy, but like, yeah, I mean, besides that, where she kept tripping and falling on him, and I will train again, and that was very much just supposed to be like a comedic
Comedy.
relief
Yep.
episode after all this like action. But her actually finally becoming a competent soldier towards the end is finally making me excited to what she might become in season 3 if we get it. Because that was my main thing is like she has this really cool power. She had this huge potential and she devolved into somebody who couldn't win a single fight, couldn't do anything but fall over and have her clothes come off. Like that was lit. And I was like, I don't like those characters, but she's finally like starting to become a decent character, I feel. So I have improved on her, but I still wouldn't say I like her as of now. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I actually agree, not 100%, but the thing where you said like basically they made her into a character where she could win any fights, and she was basically the fan service character.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, they actually used that, and that like fueled her to want to become a better fighter, which is like at the end where she was training with Benimaru's two twin sisters, and they're doing the tag thing.
That was one of my favorite parts of the whole season.
I really liked how they did that, and then they showed
great.
her backstory, and honestly, it was really bad. Like I felt really bad for her because there was a scene where I guess she fell on this girl's boyfriend, and then the girl's like, "You fell on her," and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. And it was just my lucky lecture thing." And she's like, "No, you did that on purpose. I don't care what you say." And she's like, "No, I honestly didn't mean to. I'm sorry." She's like,
"Yeah, you found out
sit
like
in the corner. That's get away from everybody. That's where you belong." And I felt like super bad because it's like here we are making fun of her for the fan service, and yet she's like super bad about it, and she feels super sad. And then they show the scene with Shinra, where it's like Shinra's like, "Oh, I'll sit with you," and she's like, "No,"
and she was like, "You
it.
probably shouldn't."
And but he still did it, and then like it still ended up happening, but Shinra doesn't like get scared or run away or anything. And Shinra's like, look at that loser over there, just sitting there like in the birthday boy seat, like he's always the special someone pointing at Arthur. And then that was funny.
Yeah, like I mean, they kind of hinted it in the first season that Tamaki didn't like her like lucky lecturer or whatever it's called.
No, but it really like
you knew she didn't like it, but like they just all the time, like the only time it didn't really happen was when she was fighting Rekka. And then she was just getting her ass beat because Rekka is like this really experienced person who's really strong. And then it ends up happening towards the end when Shinra comes in and has to like save her from it. But like that was like the one time in season 1 I'm like, cool, Tamaki might be the weakest one, but she'll grow or whatever. And then after that it was just like, fall, oh, you're groping me, fall, oh, my top fell off. It was like, like, is this all she's becoming now? But I'm excited. I wouldn't say I'm excited. I'm eager to see where she would go in the potential season 3.
And then like they also showed Tamaki was like she was just a character who'd like go with the flow. She wanted to become a nun, but then she awakened to her powers, so that she became a fighter. She looked up to Rekka, so she joined that company. Rekka turned out to be a bad guy, so she got So she went to Company 8. I don't know why she hasn't gone to Company 1 yet, but I'm glad she's still in Company 8.
She's suspended from Company 1.
Yeah, she's suspended.
After that stuff during season 1 with them, she had gotten suspended so that she was temporarily in the 8th until her suspension was up. But I feel like at this point, the 8th is just going to be like, no, we're moving her here. We need her. Like, I feel like she's essentially a member of the 8th.
But I really like her now as a character because of that. I still don't like that she's the fan service character, but it really didn't happen that much in season 2.
Yeah, and that's why it's improving. It's like she's still the fan service character, but it wasn't done too much. It was there. I was still like, okay, but it was done so little that I didn't mind it really.
Congratulations, Tamaki.
You've improved.
You've got another fan. I'm really excited to see what she does in season 3 as well, especially since she got that new like Neko fire cat power.
So cool. Yeah,
it is super cool.
But
tag could do that.
Otherwise, do you want to talk about Obi or Hinawa, or do we feel like our
Victor?
Oh yeah, look,
because we didn't really talk about him that much because it kind of just came at the end of season 1.
It was like basically, he could be a bad guy, he could be a good guy. We don't really know.
But he literally is like, "Hey, I'm spying on you for Hajima Industries," and he's like, "Yeah, we know."
Yeah, we know. It was obvious. It was like,
but they still don't know he's working with Joker.
No, they still don't know anything about that.
But basically, he's the same person as Joker. He wants to just find out the truth about everything.
I think Benimaru and Burns may know, because I think Joker made some comment about working with Licht during that fight. But I may be wrong on that.
Company 8 don't know.
Company 8 doesn't know, yeah.
But I actually really like Victor, you know. I like his run.
Mhm.
I like at the end where he's like, people make fun of me for this run, but
People
I have
used to make
keep
fun
running.
of me for how I run, but if I don't run, I'm going to die.
I'm going to die. He kept running.
And it was great too, because at this part where like everybody's just like dying and getting demolished, like people make fun of my run, and I'm self-conscious of it, but I don't want to die, so I guess I'll just run, and they can make fun of me if they want to. I was like, what?
Okay, Victor. Everyone else was dead, so you're fine.
Yeah.
No one saw your run. I really like him. I like what he did, and it's like, oh man, being around Company 8's really making me more inspired to save people's lives and stuff. You know, I really like him. I'm looking forward to.
I like how he pretty much told Hajime just to like fuck off. He's like, okay, yeah, no, I'm with these guys now. They're more my family than you guys are. Like, all right, but.
I mean, other than that, that's about Victor. I really like what they did with him. I like his backstory. They didn't show much of his backstory, but basically that he just wants to know the truth. That's it. He works with Joker to find it.
That's why he and Joker work well together. They just want to know the truth and expose what the truth is because they feel like that's important.
Yeah.
Even how like when they were going to rescue Nataku's son, he was like, "Look, like I've been spying on you, but I found out what they're doing to these kids, and like it's not cool. Like."
Yeah, it's seriously not cool.
Cool. He's like, if I bring Shinra, I can get in because they'll want to study Shinra. If Shinra will be willing to go back, like I like how he knows even he's probably going to get killed, so he's just like, I may die, but like we need to stop this.
Said, hey, we have to kill him when he comes back.
Yeah, like the company leader's like, oh, he might not actually be doing what we want him to do. Let's kill him.
I'll be real. I actually thought he was going to die in that arc.
I kind of feel like he might too.
They didn't show him, but they didn't show like anything close to it. But it was kind of like almost hinted at, obviously. So
yeah, it very much had like a flag of like, okay, Lick's gonna die like as soon as they take Shinra into a room somewhere. But I'm glad he didn't. I really like him. I like what he brings to the table. I like him and Vulcan working together. Whenever they had moments of teaming up, it was
Vulcan
great.
didn't really shine this season.
I mean, he had like the little like lizard blender or whatever.
That was cool.
Go check out my new invention, and then you see what's her Lisa or whatever, and it's like,
that's cool.
Wow, he made her look almost like Lisa. I am Lisa. He made this. I love how it wasn't just Shinra; it was Shinra and ours, and both like, wow, what happens if I touch it? Does it feel like Lisa? Like,
what?
Oh. No, I liked it. It was great.
I guess that's really all the characters we can talk about for opinion changes. So basically, a lot of them are positive. Some of them are kind of the same. There's a lot of characters. It's a shonen.
We got a lot of characters, and we've been rambling on too. No big deal.
Real quick, let's talk about the openings and ending themes, so we can move right along. So there's 2 openings, 2 ending themes. I'm just gonna say this right now. We're gonna start with the endings. The ending themes sucked.
Both of them were terrible. I didn't like either one of them.
The first one was like a video game theme.
The second one was a video game too.
No, that was a dream. That was Arthur's dream. Because at the end it would show Arthur awake.
Yeah, but I mean,
the demons looked like Shinra.
Stuff, yeah, again, the demons looked like Shinra, but like I felt like the way he was on top of the car, it made it look like some like mobile like endless runner game where you had to like go through the thing and hit everything. So I was like, it still seemed like a video game, but then it was just him dreaming.
I'm gonna be real. I'm not even gonna mention the ending themes, like the names or who did them. They're just
I wasn't a fan.
No offense. I'm sure the person who did them put a lot of work into them, but we did not really vibe with them that well. So. But let's move on to the important part, the opening.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up right now. So we got for the first opening is called Spark Again by Eimer. Really good opening. Actually, it is a perfect way to start the season 2. I actually really liked it. The visuals were great. It's just cool to see like all the companies in the opening. It's like it showed 1 through 8, and then I
even like how they showed the pillars and which ones they had found and which ones they hadn't. Yeah, that was a really nice twitch too. Like it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think, do we have Inca as 5 at that point already, or was it just
Inca,
the 3 pillars afterwards?
It was Inca because she was episode 3.
Yeah, and then we had the 2. No, we had the 3 fire pillars after. They'd be like, who were the next 3? I thought that was just nice to like refresh your brain with who they are. Yeah, we found out Sun was the next one later on, but
so I really like that one. And then the second opening is called Torch of Liberty by Kanabun, a very popular band. A lot of anime fans will love Kanabun. They do a lot of good work.
I mean, they did the opening for Boruto. Everybody knows.
They did Silhouette for opening 16 of Shippuden, which everyone loves the most.
Oh no, that's the one where Jiraiya died, right? I believe.
No, nope.
Which opening was that one? Then I'm getting my opening.
That was 7. Opening 16 is literally during the war.
Had I gotten to that point? Oh, I know which one you're talking about now. I saw the.
It starts like
thumbnail.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I've heard it, but I was just getting it mixed up.
Very popular. If you haven't listened to it, I recommend go listening to it right now. If you're not a fan of Naruto, it's really good. Really well done. I actually really like the visuals for this, especially the part with Inca just like going like that. Yeah. I think we mentioned
she looks so happy.
Really she looks so happy. How can you hate her? She's so happy.
She's so happy. Yeah.
And then they showed like I forget what else did I really like about the opening. I like the visuals too. Actually, speaking of the second opening, you know what part never really didn't make sense in the opening?
What part's that?
The end of it when it shows Shinra going up to Burns and it just ends with them like looking at each other.
I think that was just to throw us off. I think that was more or less just trying to like.
No, I think
like,
that was
Burns might be evil.
I think
it could be foreshadowing. I could see Burns actually being like
I don't think they
a spy or something.
The only time, and I'm gonna spoil you real quick, even though I know we're watching Arc V real quick. In the third opening, they show these two characters. And the opening like shows that they might like duel, but they don't, and it never happens. They never duel at all in the anime. I'll mention it to you if we ever get to it, but I think that was like stupid or the unintentional, but I feel like this might have been in the Fire Force's sake. I think it was foreshadowing because Fire Force is that type of anime where they like to foreshadow things a lot. Especially what they did with the porn guy. that was weird foreshadowing.
Yeah, for sure. I like both the openings. They were good. Do you think
did you
overall
like more, Spark Again or Torch of Liberty?
I think I personally preferred Torch of Liberty a little more. Not by much. I really liked both of them. Would you say on average season 1 had better openings or season 2 had better openings?
Why you gotta ask me that question, dude?
I think I preferred season 1's a little more, but not by much. I feel like all 4 have been really solid.
If I were to rank the openings, this is really hard, and I don't hate any of the openings, but I'm gonna say Inferno, Spark Again, Torch of Liberty, and Mayday. And I'm not saying Mayday because I hate it the most. I just really like all the other ones more.
Ignition, I think, is still my favorite because I still listen to that one all the time. Like it's on my playlist. I listen to it all the time.
There's no opening called Ignition. You mean Inferno?
Inferno, yeah. What I say, Ignition? I don't know. Yeah, I would say Inferno, Torch of Liberty. The other two, I like them both about the same. So I don't know.
He doesn't know.
I may do Mayday third and then the other one last. We'll do that one.
All right. Well, I guess that's the openings all gotten away. Other than that, the music was just basically the same as season 1. Nothing too big, nothing too small. Just your average shonen anime music.
And we weren't sure if we were going to do this, but I'm going to say screw it. So, Condor, if you had to join any one of the companies, which company would you join?
I'd obviously join Company 5 because Hibana's there. So she could step on me.
You just want to get stepped on by the hot lady. Okay.
By best girl. Yep.
What
about you, Falcon?
I would probably join Company 4 because I feel like, knowing myself, I would start fighting like infernals and stuff and be like, I do not like this. So I would rather just like teach the other people coming in, and they're the one that has like the academy. So I'd be like, all right, cool. I'll just teach you guys now, and then you all can fight the scary people.
I thought you were gonna say 8, so then I was gonna call you based. Actually based.
Yeah, man, I want to be with Maki. No, it's fine. I just know me. I'd be like, yeah, let's do. Oh no, run away! And they're like, I'm just gonna teach people if that's cool. Like, I'll just teach at the academy. It's great.
Okay, no Juggernaut.
Yeah. I don't think I would be as terrified as him, but I would definitely be like, I was like, do we really have to fight that thing?
Do we really have to fight the big guy? But real quick, I mentioned this when I started watching Fire Force, but we should talk about episode 1, especially the calendar.
Oh, okay.
The calendar. Oh my God, it's such fan service, but for the wrong reasons.
I am surprised I forgot about that because I was gonna make a joke that it was your favorite episode when we first started. Completely blanked on my mind.
No, it's not my favorite episode for that reason. I just want to talk about it because I was completely
I was just gonna make a joke. I was gonna, like, when I started, just be like, so Chimp, I know your favorite episode was the nude calendar episode, just to mess with you. But yeah, oh god, and I love how always like, no, we just have to do
Twin
this,
Cobra.
and we'll win. No, it was like this. One goes down. It was like the Egyptian pose.
No,
thing.
but then they did like the Twin Cobra
Yeah.
too. I think
Twin
they did
Cobra,
that for
and it's
the
like
thing.
we'll win, and it's like we were still last. It's like what? Oh god.
It was just so weird. I love how Shinra was like, "Oh, I have to see Company 5. I want to see Hibana." And then it shows none of that.
It shows like just the random gravel making like a pyramid or whatever.
And then it's just,
like,
then it's
what?
Iris
Like,
like, "What
oh,
were you expecting, Shinra?" And
It's
like,
male
"Haha."
only. It was like, oh god, yeah. What else I was gonna say about it? I do kind of respect the fact that like that is like a common thing, at least in pulp culture, of like the nude fireman calendar. So like that was just like a throwback to other stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
that was pretty cool.
It came out. I was like, wait, what? Like we have to do our nude calendar, and it was like, what? Every company has a month, and then the most popular ones get an extra month, and we're gonna win this year because it's not just me and Hino.
Twin Cobra.
We're Twin Cobras with all of us now. It was like, okay, but whatever. But
Because they added Shinra and Arthur and Vulcan.
Yeah.
I don't think Lick did it. Lick didn't do it, right?
I don't think so, because he still technically works for Hajima, so I don't think he was in there. I think it was just Vulcan added to the mix. But yeah, it was just like, yeah, Shinra was out in front, and then you had the rest kind of two on each side behind him.
Yeah, I got a picture of it right here. Yep,
gosh.
it's just the 5 of them.
Yeah.
They're doing the Twin Cobra. Ay.
I hope how Maki does it when she was getting out of when she was taking the bathroom. She's asking if she'd really got that beefy, and you see her go like this really quick.
Yeah, she did it too. I'm like, oh
like,
god,
Maki's
the
doing
Cobra.
the Twin Cobras. Okay. Yeah.
All right, I guess that's everything about that.
Yeah.
I guess we should move on to favorite fights, favorite moments of season 2.
Yeah, let's just lump them in together. Just they're about the same kind of.
All right, let's start with the favorite fight. I'm gonna mention it right now. It was definitely when Juggernaut did the thing. That was definitely my favorite part. The action was really great this season too. Oh, you're not surprised, are you?
No, I mean you told me like that's my favorite fight.
Let me explain. So basically, you have this guy Juggernaut, and he literally, as we mentioned, he literally could summon fire nukes, fire missiles, right? So, and we just realized one of his friends dies, and he literally just gets beheaded like right away. So you have this person who's like super strong and stuff, and like he's literally like kicking Tamaki's ass. Then Juggernaut's like, I gotta do something. So he literally makes a stand. He starts doing the stuff, right? And then like right at the end, like the lady's like trying to find like his body limbs, but he can't do it, right? And then it's like literally like right at the end, he has this giant fucking nuke. Like it's huge, dude. It's a huge nuke. And he's literally about to pound it right on her. And she keeps like firing at him, but he's regenerating his clothes, and it just goes away, it comes back, it goes away, it comes back. It's so cool. And like eventually he does get it, but it does not stop him from literally bringing the nuke right down on her. And
yeah, like right before that,
she like get decimated.
Was there his hand? And he's
was
like,
there
boom.
a body? Yeah, there was just a hand, and it was the hand that did it at the end, and it was so cool to see. Did she like?
They animated it so well. What?
Yeah.
Like,
was there a body?
When, I don't think so. I don't think we saw the body.
Yeah, the body got decimated. It was so cool.
I love you just see like Juggernaut coming, like pushing it down. You just see like the button on the very bottom go, boop, and then you just see it explode.
And then at the end, it shows him like smiling at Tamaki. That's where the episode ends. Ah, it's so good.
Yeah, that's where he finally like. I don't think he tells her he likes her, but like.
No, he doesn't.
It's she kind of can tell like he's kind of crushing. Oh no, because the cool guy who got beheaded very early on. Juggernaut's like, oh yeah, isn't this that girl you won't shut up talking about? And he's like, no, stop.
No,
so, like,
stop
I'm assuming Tamaki heard it, but she was close by. But yeah, like I feel like at that point she's like, crap, like this dude's like, even if she's not like in love with him, it's like this dude's my bro. Like,
yeah,
I gotta get him. I gotta get him out. He's my bud. Like, let's go. But
well, I mean, he kind of like saved her life, so he kind of owes her.
She feels indebted. But then like I like how she's roughed up enough. She's like, I don't know that I can get him out of here. Like, what the hell am I gonna do? But even he's just like, I saved you, run away. And she's like, hell no, I'm taking you out of here. It's like, I'm not leaving you here to die. Like, you crazy?
Are you
crazy?
I
like that a lot. It was really good.
That was definitely my favorite fight. I mean, it wasn't like much of a fight, but it was my favorite defining moment.
I mean, I feel like it was enhanced due to the fact that even we saw him earlier fighting, he was just screaming and running away from whatever was following him.
But
so this is the first time where he's finally like, no, I'm the only one who can do this. They are not hurting Tamaki. I'll man up and go for it. No, I probably shouldn't say man up, but like, thought
Well,
process.
no, but that's what he did. He manned up.
Yeah.
Like he
And he's just
actually
like, all
manned
right,
up.
I got to do this. It's me.
That
it's either
very
I run away and
moment-
she dies, or I die and she runs away. And it's like, all right, let's do this.
That very moment, a man was born.
Yeah.
A man was born. A man was made that day, not born, made.
Yeah.
He was made a man just by that. He stood up, protected the one he loved,
Mm-hmm.
lost 2 body parts because of it, and took it like a badass. Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be really
Best
interesting what they
moment.
do with him, like, because everyone else who's lost a body part hasn't had any sort of like replacement. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what they do with that. But I guess we've not seen anybody who doesn't have the leg though. We've only seen the other guy from Company One who lost his arm, and he just has like the nub, and he just like ties his collar there, or not his collar, his sleeve. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think my favorite fight was easily the Ogun fight against the demon guy whose name I just forgot. Was it like
Tempeh.
Tempeh, yeah. I loved whenever they were doing that. So that's why I was kind of bummed Shinra had to get the kill.
Yeah.
But Ogun was doing so well. I honestly think Ogun probably could have killed it if he kept going. But he was buying Shinra all that time against a demon. And I think they said who it was, Benimaru and the other guy from Company 7 were the only two. Yeah.
Conroe.
They were the only two who'd ever been able to defeat a demon. So the fact he was being able to hold off the demon without really taking much damage until Shinra was able just to go kill it with one blow really shows just how good he actually is in a fight. And I really enjoyed just watching it all go down.
Yeah, it's kind of weird thinking about that, and then thinking about when Kurono finished. Kurono was the one who finished off Sun when he was in that big form. And you could say that might have been worse than the Horned Demon in a sense.
Yeah.
And at that time, Shinra didn't take the bait, so it's kind of weird that sometimes they'll make a side character do it, but then sometimes they'll make the main character. I feel like, I guess Ogun's too much of a side character to really matter.
Yeah, and I feel like other guy, Kurono, I feel like he had to do it because it showed that out of everybody there, he was the only one who could get a hold of Nataku. I feel like it wasn't necessarily that Shinra was too weak to do it. I think it was just showing like he can get out of control, and the only person who can bring him back to his senses is Kurono. So I feel like that was more to emphasize that, and that he was the protector as opposed to the White Clad finding somebody who would pair up well with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, any other favorite fights, or do we just want to go more favorite moments next?
Favorite fights. I really liked which one? Which one did I really like, Falcon? I don't remember.
I can't read your mind. I'm not.
Why can't
I'm not.
you read
What's
my
her
mind?
name?
I guess I really liked Shinra versus Karen in the beginning of season 2. I really liked how Shinra found out how to like deal damage to him, and you feed him damage, but it's not like enough to take him out. I really like that, like the thinking that Shinra had to do, because Shinra's pretty smart. He's a really smart guy.
They don't show it that often, but yeah, he's not dumb like Arthur. Or Arthur's just like, I'm a slash at it.
He's like
no,
he's like no, he's not like Luffy. I was gonna say Luffy's dumb, but he's like battle smart. Luffy's definitely like 100% battle smart. But
Luffy is very much an idiot, but he's not
battle smart, 100%.
Yeah. It's like when he gets into battle, he knows what to do and can figure it out. But like otherwise, just like, wow, look at that suspicious box. Oh no, I'm stuck. And it's like, yeah, you should have hopped in the suspicious box, idiot. But
Shinra's like smart outside and inside of battle. So it's not a good comparison to Luffy. No. He's smart. He's a good shonen character. That's all I can say. But I really like that fight. What other fight did you like, Falcon?
I mean, the Juggernaut part was fine.
The Juggernaut part was the best, and you shut your mouth.
I enjoyed Maki. I'll say the only other fight I think I really just like would want to shout out is at the beginning when they're doing the whole Inca thing, and they had to have everybody reroute the flames into the giant freaking flame tornado to kill the demon. I
really like that.
That was super great. And it showed how like they all had to finally like work together because the only people who could defeat a demon weren't there. So like, shit, how can we do this? And it's like, why don't we do a flame tornado? I forgot what they actually called it, but like the way the winds move around here, we can just have the winds carry the flames here, and then Maki can do this, and then boom, it was just like, all
Victor
right.
was super smart in planning that.
Yeah. I really liked that a lot. And I like how Obi couldn't figure out how to shoot the gun, so Vulcan just had to like ram it into the tornado. Like, I'm really bad at these things. I can't figure out how to get it to use. Screw it. Boom.
He literally drives the
matchbox into him. Yeah.
It's great.
I like that a lot.
I guess that's good for favorite fights. How about favorite moments? How about some
Uh,
favorite moments there, Falcon?
I really liked the moment when they find out about a person being or the first pillar possibly living inside Amaterasu.
Yeah, that was like
I
really brings a
liked
lot of like darkness to the world.
I really liked how Iris was questioning what she believed in and if she could still pray to the, soul god if it truly was like the evangelist who set it all up and if there was a human life being stuck in there to power the city. And I like that it led to like her and Shinra bonding at the baptism temple of them just like talking and figuring things out. I really enjoyed that. And that kind of set up
It's
like the canon, like I feel like it'd be canon almost of like an Irish Shinra kind of thing going on.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I enjoyed that because I don't feel like we really got to see those two ever really interact much. So I like seeing like them interacting and kind of bonding and forming that forming that bond. Yeah.
It's really weird. The first pillar, the one inside Amaterasu, apparently the captain of the fourth said that it appears differently to like it shows up. They appear differently looking to someone else
Oh,
because
okay.
it shows up to look like Iris to Shinra, but I think he mentioned it looked different to him when he saw her. I think the captain said he saw her because he mentioned
Maybe
you
I don't
saw a girl,
remember.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Remember when he walked into the office and he saw like you
Hmm.
saw a girl, didn't you? And I think he mentioned it looks different to different people.
Hmm.
So that's pretty weird.
But
I
to be
wonder
fair,
what
that
to do
girl's
with
been
it.
burning in the fire for forever. Like,
Yeah, it's really horrible.
yeah. Um,
It's
I
sad. It
like
makes
that
me
moment.
cry.
What's a favorite moment for you?
A lot of the backstories we got a lot of character backstories like
Hmm.
Arthur, Tamaki, Maki, Joker. I really liked all of them. Victor's. It was just really cool to see a lot of characters we
Hmm.
know and their backstory and stuff. I know we talked about it a lot already, but I really do like the backstories.
Hmm.
They were all pretty cool, pretty
Hmm.
nice.
I liked him a lot.
Yeah. I really liked. I really like all the comedy bits were really fun. Other than the one
They
with
had really good
Tamaki.
comedy bits this
Other than when
season.
Tamaki and the guy who's like trying to train. We mentioned that earlier, but I actually kind of didn't like that. It was kind of out of left field. Like
Yeah, it almost felt kind of like forced, almost like, oh, we just have to show what this guy's been doing after he got beat because we need a fan servicey moment. And it's
we need a
like,
fan servicey moment.
okay,
Oh, I like the part where where Shinra and Hibana were at the in the eighth like city and they were looking for Kono to talk to him because they think he might be a
hmm
part of the White Clad. And then the guy's like, "Hey, is that your girl? You snagged a really cute girl." And she's like,
yeah.
"Oh, you think we're dating? Oh my
And
god!"
he's
And
like,
she was
no,
like,
she's
"No
the
way, we're
captain
not
of the
doing it."
fifth.
And she's the captain of the fifth, and the guy's like, "I don't think she'd be opposed to it
And
or
you just see her
anything."
like blushing and like, no, we're not. Yeah, it's just.
Because the anime we didn't really have any Hibana moments, so it was really nice to
Mhm.
see that. I like it, 100%.
I
I
guess
ship
another favorite
Shinra,
moment.
Iris, and Hibana together. Totally.
They're gonna form a harem like what's his name from Gundam.
Yeah.
They're just gonna have their own Fire Force company. It's just gonna be Shinra, his wives, and their children.
Tamaki will be the cat.
Yeah.
Maki will
But
be
yeah.
the gorilla.
Oh,
Horrible.
no.
Hey, what's one of your favorite moments there, buddy?
I did like the training moment, really between all of them had with Benny Maru at the end.
Oh, you just like
Where
seeing Shinra and Arthur naked?
no, they weren't naked.
They
No,
were
I
naked.
just enjoyed seeing that it was literally just like a giant hazing maneuver, pretty much. And they're even like, "What does that have to do?" I don't know. It's just like hazing we do to everybody, and it's like, then why are you doing? Like, he has no reason to doing it. He just does it. And I love too that the city's like, the town's like, "Wow, we haven't seen this happen since Benny Morrow had this. Oh, it's nice to see it happen again." And they're just like tied up to a stick, like over a fire, like they're a roasted pig.
I
And it's just like,
love
"What are
that
you
town, dude. It's so
doing?"
funny. It's like, oh, just another
That
casual day, and then these two kids just being like screaming, getting like hazed through the town. It's like, yep, just a
yeah.
normal day, nothing bad
Yeah,
happening.
and then that includes the Tamaki training with the little like the twin sisters. I thought that was really interesting too. And then she finally like somewhat because like they're like twin foxes, so they can like engulf themselves to look like a fox. And it showed that Tamaki can actually turn into like a fox or cat too. She just hadn't unlocked it all the way, so she's like working on getting that more unlocked. So that was really interesting.
Fire cat, woo!
Woo! Yeah, that was probably the last favorite moment I deem worth mentioning.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're coming to the end right now. We don't really need to talk about spoilers because we've literally been talking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Let's do our ratings
Yeah.
and
See how they've changed.
I guess we could both say we're looking forward to season 3 if it ever comes out, which it probably will because it kind of foreshadowed a season 3 at the end of season 2.
Yeah, I feel like it's done well. I don't know like actual numbers, but I feel like I hear enough people talking about it that it's done well enough to get a season 3.
Fire Force is definitely a good anime. I would definitely recommend it to a lot of people. So
yeah,
I think it'd be good. I showed the first episode to my roommate and he liked it. So he
doesn't really
like anime that much. Though I showed him My Hero and ReZero and he really liked both of those. So
maybe he just hasn't found the right animes yet then.
Maybe he hasn't. He says he doesn't like animes like Naruto or Dragon Ball. He said they're too basic. I'm like, yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a problem most people have with like regular shows. Like if they've just watched Naruto and Bleach, like I didn't like it. Like well, there's a lot of shows that are very different than those. Like I can show you one of those if you want.
I ain't no weeb. I'm an advanced
I ain't no weeb.
I'm an advanced weeb.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So
okay, what is your rating for Fire Force season 2?
All right. So earlier I said I rated season 1 a 7. I don't feel like season 2 was that much better, that much worse. I think I'll bump it up to a 7.5. I'll meet what you rated it.
Are you gonna meet me?
Season.
Are you gonna meet
yeah,
me? Okay.
I think I enjoyed it a little more than season 1, but not by a ton. So 7.5 is probably a good one for it right now. What about you, Condor? What are you rating?
I'm gonna say season 1 and season 2 were pretty equal. Honestly, they're equally enjoyable. The vibe didn't really get killed that much. I really enjoyed what I watched. Like I honestly watched like 6 or 7 episodes a day. I honestly started it on Saturday and I finished it on Wednesday. That's super early. I had so many free days before then, but I really liked it. I think I'm gonna keep the rating the same at 7.5.
All right.
It's pretty good, pretty great. Recommend. Watch
so
it right now.
7.5 from both of us.
That's right.
So that's fun. I think this is the first time we've agreed on a rating.
No, what?
Maybe I don't know.
What happened?
Saying I'm wondering if this is the first time we've agreed on a rating. I don't remember. I think we're usually a little bit different for most of them.
I think we've agreed on some things. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Well, that means everyone else, you have homework. Go back and watch the
episodes
of the podcast and tell us
how we're wrong all the time.
And where can they tell us that, Falcon?
They can tell us at Twitter at BirdBroPod. You can also find us in a Discord that should be linked in all of the show descriptions on all podcast services, or you can go to birdbropod.podbean.com where there is a link you can put into your browser to come into our Discord where you can talk about anime, games, and really kind of whatever else you want to talk about. We don't really care. We enjoy the conversations. And also, if you want to watch me play some video games, you can find me at twitch.tv/FinalFalconberry every Sunday night. Anything else?
You mean tonight?
Tonight!
Tonight!
I mean, this goes live on a Thursday, so no, not tonight.
But at the time of this recording, tonight.
I mean, we do watch Yu-Gi-Oh! On Thursday nights. If you want to come watch some Arc V with us, we're watching that Thursday nights, usually around 7-ish p.m. Central Time. You can join the Discord, pop in there, and we'll watch some Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V together.
Yeah, tell us how much you love everybody. How Miru is best girl.
It's not been as excellent yet.
Yeah, well, we haven't gotten to the good parts yet.
We haven't gotten to the good parts apparently. But yeah, so if you want,
as soon as the tournament starts, that's when it gets good.
Okay, yeah, I heard it gets good and then it gets bad again, so we'll see.
It does not get bad to the ending.
But that's what Kaizen said.
But Kaizen's based.
Oof, he's gonna be like, you called me out again, and we'll be like,
that's because I'm his #1 fan. That's what my Discord name says.
That's where you can find us. We may or may not be getting an Instagram soon, so stay tuned for that.
Ooh.
But yeah, we hope you all have a great 2021. We hope you all enjoyed the first podcast of 2021. But next week is episode number 10, and it is Condor's pick. Condor, what are we watching for next week?
Wait, episode 10 is next week?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course episode 10 is next week.
This is episode 9. How could you forget?
I'm a little stupid. All right, so I decided to pick one. It's not like a big action anime. It's very familiar to most anime fans. If you've been an anime fan for a long time, we will be watching The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Now, I heard there's a movie. I heard there's a movie too. I'm not sure if we'll cover the movie. We'll have to discuss that with.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons of the movie.
Well, it depends on how fast we both watch it. We'll discuss it. But for now, we do plan on watching both seasons since both seasons like 13 episodes.
Yeah,
so
so they're not very long.
Stay tuned for next week where we talk about Haruhi.
Unless, of course, the Endless Eight do us in. But until next time, we have been your hosts. Thank you for tuning out to the podcast.
And Falcon,
yeah.
Hope you enjoy those new shoes.
Oh, I will enjoy those new shoes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we got to go so I can try on these new shoes real quick. But see you all next week.